place of assignment is where I need to be found. I desire that this afternoon, that may we search our hearts. May we allow God to search our hearts. And whatever the report that comes, that we will agree with it. And we will go before Him, before Him, and ask for His mercy. Because every time we cry for His mercy, He is ready to restore us. He is ready to revive us. He is ready to renew us once again. But because our generation can never cry for His mercy, we are too big to cry for His mercy. We are too big to go on our knees. We are too big to cry before our God. We have missed it. And we have missed on the mercy of God. So this afternoon, I desire that may He search our hearts. Because humility comes with the revelation that without God, I cannot make it. That is what guides humility. The moment you find that, you start saying that by my own power. The moment you acknowledge that without God, outside the help of God, outside the revelation of God, I cannot make it. That is it. Now you qualify for the lifting of God. Because there are some people who have gone to school. There are some people who have whatever it takes for them to be employed. But because they have not realized that without the help of God, they don't have the revelation that without the help of God, so they are doing the job application, but they are doing on their own strength. They are doing based on what they know. They are doing based on who they know. But they are forgetting that without the help of God, unless God helps a man, the psalmist says in Psalm 121 that I will lift up my eyes and I will look unto heaven. Where does my help come from? I will look to the mountain. Where does my help come from? There are people, pride has cheated them. I know so and so. There is the place of men, because I've also taught on the gift of men. Because every blessing comes from God through men. But your assignment should not be to worship men. Your assignment is to honor God and to acknowledge that without God, the men cannot bless you. Without God, the men cannot lift you. Without God, the men can never take you anywhere. The revelation that outside the help of God, we cannot make it. Could it be that you are not employed because of pride? Because every time you carry your paper to a company, you carry them with the idea, who do I know there? With the idea that I have the qualification. And because the help of God, the influence of God is not on your papers, God has remembered those that have acknowledged Him. God has remembered those that have walked in humility. I desire that Galatians 1:24 will become part of us, that and they glorified God in me, that anything we do behind ministry, anything that we do in this kingdom, that when men see us, they will only glorify God. That men will not rush to celebrate us. Men will not rush to say that, oh, you are a great man, you are a great preacher, you are a great worshiper. That will come to a level of humility, that when God sees us, they will celebrate God and they will glorify God. That is what I desire this afternoon. That we will bow to a level. We will humble ourselves to a level that when men see us, they will glorify God. When men see us, they will glorify God. The secret to remain standing is to remain on your knees. Because you cannot fall when you are already on your knees. But when you are standing on your own, it is very easier to fall. And because many people are not on their knees, so many people are falling tonight. Because many preachers are not on their knees, their pride cannot allow them to be on their knees. They have forgotten that the secret to remain standing is to be on your knees. You can never fall while you are already on your knees. But because we are already up, our ego has cheated us. Our ministry, the celebration in ministry, the small achievement in ministry has cheated us. Then it has become very easier for us to fall. And the devil has told us that you can do it on your own. I've come to encourage you this afternoon that in the beginning, God, until when he becomes the beginning in the start, then forget about the help of God. Acknowledge that without God, there is no you. Without God, there is no an achievement you can make. The moment you walk in humility, then you will struggle with few things. And perhaps none. You will struggle with none of these things. We are struggling to get results because we have not walked in humility. We are struggling to go deeper in ministry because we are not humble. We are struggling with titles nowadays because we are not humble. So everyone comes and says, oh, being called an apostle is a good thing. And everybody says, when I come to the church, you call me apostle. When I come to the church, you must acknowledge me as a reverend. When I come to the church, you must call me a bishop. So many people are offended. So when you call me Oscar, many people are offended when they are called by their names because they are not humble. But I desire that may God help us. May God grant us grace. Because the Bible says God rejects the proud, but he grants more grace to the humble. So anything God gives can be multiplied. Anything God gives, no matter how small it is, that small ministry can expand to a level. That small business can expand to a higher level. But the requirement for it to expand is that you must be humble. You must be humble. I want to speak about two types of pride, and then I'll finish my teaching. In a few minutes, I just want to touch on two types of pride, and then I will finish my teaching. Proverbs 16:18. Proverbs 16:18. The Bible says, pride goes before destruction, and a hefty spirit before a fall. So the moment you see some people have started walking in proud, just know that destruction is on the way. It is a matter of time, but they will be distracted. It might look like it is taking long, but they will fall. Proverbs 29:23, the Bible says, a man's pride will bring him low, but the humble in spirit will retain honor. How do we retain honor in this kingdom? It is not going to people and telling them, I'm a pastor, please you need to honor me. It's by being humble. It is written in Proverbs 29:23 that a humble spirit shall retain its honor. The number one type of pride that is in our generation is what we call spiritual pride. Spiritual pride. Spiritual pride. In this kingdom, as I continue to work with the fathers, one of the fathers that I respect, he said one thing. And he said, in this kingdom, we are replaceable. That what you are doing today, what you think, you are the only one who can do it. God has the power to pick another person and he can come and do it. We are replaceable. God can replace us. Meaning, we cannot limit the program of God. Once God is ready to do it, he can use anyone to do it. But we are living in a generation whereby we think we are the only one. And this one has cheated many of us. Because we think, because I'm the only one who can preach, because I'm the only one who can worship, because I'm the only one who can play the keyboard. And so we think when we miss the church, we think the program of God can stop. I've come to encourage you. I've come to talk to you. And I've come to let you know that in this kingdom, God can replace us. It is a privilege to be part of what God is doing. It's a privilege to be a minister in his house. But we are not the only one. Spiritual pride is where we think that God cannot do some things without us. And that one has cheated many of us in the place of prayer, in the place of worship, in the place of lifting. So we think there are some things, unless we are there, God cannot do them. But I've come to tell you, we are only but one. But there are so many people that can do what we are doing better than how we are doing it.